still wearing when I wore the shirt.
Good evening. Good evening. All right, y'all. As y'all can see, we've got an addition to our podcast, and we're gonna let everybody get to know a little bit about Jeff Barano. I've known Jeff for a good many years. Craig has gotten to know him a little bit through the podcast, and so we'll start out with that. Jeff, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, first off, I want to thank you, Freddie and Craig, for the opportunity to come in and just talk. I enjoy talking Clemson sports. As you know, Freddie, you and I have had the opportunity to speak a great deal over the years about things that go on in Clemson and share our love for athletics. I do appreciate the chance. Just a little bit about me personally. About 2 years ago, I retired from working in school administration in Sumter County, then back in Clarendon County, and I've gone back to teaching as a working retiree. So I've enjoyed that the last couple of years.
What school are you at?
I'm at R.E. Davis over just across the Clarendon County border, across 95 there.
Okay.
He's a glutton for punishment. He went from administration back into teaching. So
yep.
Yeah. It's been a good change now. I will say that I've enjoyed it.
Well, I can understand, man. Kind of like my profession is, once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. And so, well, Craig, how's your week been?
Man, had a great week. Busy week. Today was the best day. I was telling Jeff a while ago, got up early this morning and got ready for church, serving on the worship team, playing some music. Always love to be able to serve like that. And, good lunch, good nap, and got to spend some granddaughter time this afternoon. So that was icing on the cake. How about you, bro?
That's always great. I can tell you.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, how about you? You have a good week?
Oh man, it's been wonderful. This time of year for educators is a good time of year. We do appreciate that break.
And school resource officers.
Yes.
Mine same. Great week. Ended up going up. I think I told Craig last weekend I was going to go up. We're going to start out with a little bit of basketball tonight, y'all. I went up to the Clemson Carolina basketball game Tuesday night, and Jeff, I know I saw you the other night. I told you the story. Craig is just hearing this story for the first time. We had to drop my cousin off because he has trouble walking with his breathing and stuff. So my nephew Isaac and I are walking up. We walked past Lot 5 and Tiger Walk and all this, and we're getting close to the Avenue of Champions. For those that don't know, that is the avenue that goes between Lot 5 and Little John Coliseum. Okay, so we get there, and as we're walking up, I hear the security guard, a black Toyota Tundra, pulls up, and passenger side window rolls down, and the security guard says, "Hey, Mr. Dabo," and I'm like, "There's no way that is Dabo Sweeney right here in front of us in a Toyota Tundra." And then I hear this voice from in the truck go, "Well, you reckon they'll mind us popping in?" And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, "That's him." And sure enough, we walk up. As we get closer, we can see that there's Kathleen in the passenger side and Dabo driving. So it was a pretty fun experience for the common fan, I guess you could say. So, and then on top of that, the greatest part of it was we got the win over the Gamecocks, and it really was close as the score shows. So, so it was a good night in Tiger Town Tuesday night. So
Yes, and today,
yes.
even
You
though we
know,
almost blew it again, I was like BYU all over again.
yeah. Well, I told Jeff earlier, just before you got on, Craig, the difference in today's game and the game 12 days ago was we really hit our free throws.
Yeah.
We hit our free throws the other night, we win that game. But
Right.
that's what we love about basketball. It's also what we love about Brad Brownell teams for some reason. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. But
They kind of reminded me of I don't remember the year. I think it was in the 80s, 70s, or 80s. Jim Valvano's NC State Wolfpack, the cardiac.
yeah,
The
we
cardiac
we
attack
make sure.
or something.
Yeah, we make sure we don't do anything easy with the basketball team. So,
but a win's a win.
That's right. And that guy brought that up tonight. He said, "Look," he said, and during the broadcast, he said the key here is it may not have looked pretty to some Clemson fans, but it still goes in that win column. And in just a couple of months, ain't nobody gonna remember that we were up by 20 and almost lost.
That's right.
Hey, I'll take it.
That puts us 10-3 in non-conference.
That's right.
Pretty decent. It gets a decent schedule when you got Alabama, BYU, Cincinnati. Georgia's looks like a good win. So
I would say they said Georgia just eased into the top 25. So look, I mean, the two of those three losses were against the number 12 and number 10 teams in the country. You can't really complain about it.
And we had BYU was 10, right, when we played them.
Yep.
We had oops. That was a win.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Sure
they
was.
beat us. But I mean, on the scoreboard, yeah. But I mean, we showed we got some grit.
That's right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, even if you remember, we started out against Alabama. We looked like we I hate to say this, but we looked like Cincinnati when we started out against Alabama and stormed back in the second half and, had a chance to win that game. But again, free throws.
Yep.
So,
that's right. And we start ACC play New Year's Eve, I believe, right?
That's right. The 31st, Syracuse.
Who we playing? Let me look the
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. Y'all, I said Syracuse and my phone thought I was saying Siri. So if y'all hear my phone in the background answering me, it's because of that. I just realized it. So, and let's jump to another one. I mean, we're going to leave Clemson basketball. And before we get into Clemson football, I'm going to let you know that as of right now, I can see the score. I can't hear it because I'm having to watch. I was listening to it on Sirius XM. Trevor Lawrence and EDN are taking it to the Broncos. They're still up 34-20 right now. And it's got to be late in the fourth quarter. So
those boys have been on fire.
Yeah. Well, and what we were talking about earlier is most people don't realize this. Denver has not lost a game since September 21st. So we're not talking about a shabby team here. Yeah.
Right.
So, love it when the Clemson boy or the former Clemson boys, put on the show, and both of them have been recently. So that's a good thing. All right, let's jump on into what most everybody probably would tune in for, and that is, as y'all noticed, this is episode 17, by the way, and
crazy.
Seems like we're rolling on along, but this one I listed this one as the next man up edition because you got 27 altogether right now. As long as nobody gets hurt, you're going to go into the Pinstripe Bowl down 27 scholarship players. So we're going to get to see some of the young guys, for next year, as long as they don't transfer out or anything like that. So, Craig, you brought up a good article earlier about what Tom Allen was looking at. You want to bring those two guys in? I bring them up.
Darian Mayo and Brandon Strozier. Mayo plays defensive end. Strozier, I think, is a corner. or a safety?
I think
Safety,
it's
believe.
I think it's corner, the nickelback.
Okay,
He plays nickel, there you go. And I've seen Strozer's played some during the year. I'm excited to see what those guys are going to be able to do.
I am too. Look here. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you another one I'm interested to see, and that is, what Stefan Green can do when
That's my
when
man there.
he's, it's his to do now. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
he's going to be the man going in. So I'm interested to see him.
Yeah, I've talked about him on several of these episodes.
Oh yeah,
I'm real high on him. He's got a motor.
He does. He does.
He's going to be good.
Yep, I agree.
I'm excited about that. What you think, Jeff?
Well, I think the game, of course, because that's when the lights are on, that's when the money's made. But the practices leading up to the game will hopefully give the staff some insight into who they need to go after in the portal, how hard they need to go. You look at defensive end, we feel pretty good with Held and Lawson if he comes back from injury. But will one of those young defensive ends step up and maybe allow us not to pursue one in the portal? Same thing at corner, same thing at defensive tackle. I think we're going to hit the portal pretty hard on the defensive side, but exactly where, because you do have limited resources. You only have but so much money to go around to entice those guys out of the portal. So these are some important weeks for them.
Well, I mean, now keep in mind now, Dabo said, and the media is eating all this stuff up about that he's not going to make deals in the portal. What do y'all think about that?
Well, I agree with that.
Well, I do, but at the same time, I'm going to ask this question. All right. He makes that comment, but how did he get 3 players here last year?
Well, I think now I will say this. I liked all 3 of them.
Oh, I do too. No. And that's
saying. Yeah. But he did something to get them. You're right. As far as wheeling and dealing, I still believe, now I could be totally wrong, this is just my opinion. I think that Coach Sweeney is big on what he's got there, development, recruiting and development. But I think that he's more open now to more portal transfers.
Oh yeah.
We got 3 last year. Mm-hmm. I'm looking maybe upwards toward 7 to 10.
I can say that.
Freddie, is he talking with not making deals? Is he talking about this behind the back type stuff that these guys do before they enter the portal, or is he once the window open and everybody's playing on a level playing field there? Is he going to go out because Help, Alexander, those guys got some cut of the action, so to speak. So is he talking about just doing the behind the back stuff, or is that out in the open once it opens up?
The way I read it, it felt like he was talking about, and y'all, I just
highest bidder type deal.
Yeah, and I believe, which I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to do that to a point anyway. But at the same time, I just thought it was funny how he put that out there, and yet, he made deals with 3 players last year. So,
yeah,
I just thought it was funny. I'm not throwing anything out there that this or that. I just thought it was a funny comment.
Oh yeah, and and we do have to give a shout out to a few players that stuck with us and didn't opt out of the bowl game. One, Blake Miller. Senior.
Yes, you beat me to the punch.
He's gonna be an NFL tackle, and he could easily say, you know what, I want to protect myself so I can get a good draft stock, but that's dedication. Him. He's about you got Cade, Adam Randall. Those guys could easily say, you know what, I'm out. Tristan
That's
Lee.
right.
Thankful for that dedication because you don't see that much anymore, especially
Oh,
from
you're
your
exactly
star
right.
players.
Yeah.
So shout out to
Oh,
those
yeah.
dudes, man. That's commitment and loyalty.
That's right.
Craig,
It is.
I'm gonna. I don't hold any ill will against a guy like T.J. Parker for leaving, but to
Yep.
me, I think it boosts the legacy of Cade. It boosts the legacy of Blake Miller and Tristan Smith and those guys because they
That's
did
right.
stay.
Exactly.
But I don't diminish those other guys for leaving.
No.
I understand it's a business and they got decisions to make.
Yeah, and there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
few that actually are hurt, and
Yeah. Antonio Williams.
Antonio Williams is hurt, and he's got to
Yeah.
have some.
That's
Hey,
right.
I mean he's still
Yeah.
good, but who else? There's a couple other ones that are hurt. That are
I
having
want to
some
say
surgeries.
Avion Terrell is hurt.
Yeah,
I know
I
he
think he
left
had
the
shoulder issues,
game.
I believe.
Wasn't it
Yeah,
the hamstring or something?
I think
Oh, yeah.
so. Yeah.
But
And look, I mean, everybody gets all, I'm talking about fan wise, get all upset about this guy's not playing or that guy's not playing and these opt outs and stuff like that. And trust me, I don't agree with the opt outs. All right.
yeah,
But if it's there, I can't blame the players for using that.
that's
Okay.
right.
That is something that, in my opinion, has to be addressed by the NCAA, and hey, at the same time, anybody that thinks that this bowl game, now don't get me wrong, everybody wants to win this bowl game. I want to win this bowl game. There's nobody on the staff or on the team that doesn't want to win the bowl game. Okay, especially against Penn State. But at the same time, the whole reason for accepting a bowl bid outside of the playoffs is for that extra practice for a leg up on next year.
That's right.
And we've experienced that to the fullest extent this year.
Honestly, Freddie, it may be a blessing in disguise. With T.J. Parker playing, you might not see Watford a whole lot in the bowl game. So
That's right.
just to get a chance to see him, it may end up being that.
Yeah,
That's right.
I can see it. I can believe that. I can see that.
Hey, and another shout out to a ball player is Will Helt, who was a transfer, and he's coming back next year.
Yeah.
And he had an incredible year. He, in my opinion, he was MVP of the defense.
Oh, I agree. I have to agree there.
And he's coming
And
back.
I do believe that Will Helt would have gotten. I'm not gonna say that he would have gotten drafted. If he did, I don't believe it would have been high, but at the same time, he would have had a chance in the NFL, and chose to come back and run it back one more time. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing what we do in the portal and what we have coming, for next year. At the same time, I am really looking forward to seeing on the 27th, what pieces we have to work around and mold around going into next year. So,
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I mean, you think about it. We're what's today's date? 21st?
21st.
Yep.
6 days?
We are 6 days away.
6 days. Hey,
6 days away.
Penn State's had a lot of attrition also, so
Yeah. Man, I was looking at the depth chart, and man, I'm gonna tell you what. Honestly, it kind of looked like a high school team going up against a JV team as far as Clemson's looked like they've had more attrition, which is expected because they lost their coach. They got, what I'm saying, they get to transfer out, sooner than others do or so.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to say it again. That James Franklin, I like him. He's going to Virginia Tech now, so now we got to compete against him. Might not like him too much after that, but
yeah. Well, look here. Dabo has found a way to have us ready for about everybody. So I'm not too concerned about that part of it. I'm kind of like you. I don't have anything towards James Franklin, other than the fact that he decided to come compete against us. So
yep. And speaking of attrition, a while ago, I pulled up the depth chart. Looks like there's 6 starters on defense that won't be playing.
Yep.
Um,
They said half of the starting defense will not be playing, and that's so.
and this is what's exciting to me. Like we're just saying about being able to, Jeff was saying, be able to see, it's a good thing because we'll be able to see what some of these other guys have. And these are guys, we follow recruiting a lot too. I love recruiting. And these guys we haven't seen a lot of in games, but they've been highly rated players. Stephen Green, Heaven Brown Schuler, second team.
Yep.
Vic Burley is going to be a starter, co-starter with Champ Thompson. We're going to get to see a little bit more of Kobe McLeod. I like the way he's played. And like Corian Gibson. Who else was it in there? And Strozier.
Yeah.
And, and then there's some people in here I've heard of, like in the Furman game late in the fourth quarter. Fletcher Cothran is on the depth chart. Who else is in here that was, on the depth chart? He's second. He's second team. Look here. Here's another one. Second team wide receiver, Parker Fulgham. Who is that?
All right.
No,
tell me this.
To the dude, but,
right. Tell me this. How many of those guys, once the depth chart came out, they took a picture of it and sent it out? Look at this, guys. I'm second string.
That's right. But I just had to throw that in there. Oh, here's another one. Yeah. Second team, Clark Sanderson, that wide receiver behind Tyler Brown. I don't recall him.
Never heard of him.
No disrespect to him. Yeah, but that's where this is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
And
well, you kind of. All right, and the sad part is, you kind of have to feel sorry for Tom Allen. And I mean, I know they've been preparing these guys for this whole thing. Okay, I get that, but at the same time, if we go in there and we lay an egg, and I don't expect us to, I truly believe that we win this game.
I do too.
Matter of fact, we will give our predictions before we leave tonight. Okay. I expect us to win the game, but let's say we go in and we'll lay an egg. All right. And the vulture is going to be out.
Well,
and even with knowing that most of these cats have not started a game in college. I mean,
yeah.
So, hey, it is what it is.
Jeff, who are you looking forward to seeing in this game?
Well, I'm excited for Tyler Brown. I think he's been kind of forgotten with Antonio Williams playing a big part this year. I think he might be one of you guys that stand out. On offense, especially defensively. Again, the defensive end that you mentioned earlier, Watford. I'm excited to see a little bit of him. See what the future holds there. Do we hit the portal hard there, or is he enough with Lawson and Helt coming back to give us a good 3-man rotation there? I don't know.
And you know what? You're right, because we are thin at defensive end. Cade Denoff, I was looking just now. Cade Denoff is going to be a starter, but he's a senior. He's gone. We're going to have a lot of youth there, and I think that's going to be a portal need. But I want to say something about, you said Tyler Brown. I'm glad you brought him up. A lot of people forget when he was a freshman. I think Williams was hurt then.
Yep,
and
he was.
Tyler Brown was a star for us.
That's right.
His freshman year. I think his sophomore year he had an injury bug. He's a junior, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep. He had the injury bug, and then he kind of was behind Williams this year, but he had flashes. So, hey, Jeff, that's a good one. I'm excited to see what he's going to do next year. He'll be a good complement to what Antonio did.
I believe so too.
Same mold as Antonio.
Yep.
And think about it, with him coming off of injuries and stuff like that, it'll give him a shot next year to show what he's really got, and I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
Defense, I'm looking forward to Stephon Green. I told y'all that earlier. I know we've seen him. Okay, I'm just looking forward to seeing him as the guy. So, Well,
Yep.
hey.
Yep.
All right.
And I
So,
tell you, I'm with Jeff. Tyler Brown's one of them, and I just looked. Tyler was redshirted last year. He's listed as a sophomore, but there's another one on here, true freshman, and there was an article I read about him, wide receiver, Juju Preston.
Yeah.
yes. And
They've talked.
they're talking big time on him this week. I noticed that
Yeah.
too.
Yep. So hey, you know what? I still think we get the W on this, but I'm with Jeff on this too. We're going to see a lot of players that we haven't seen, and we're going to have a glimpse into what the 2026 season is going to be about.
All I'm going to say is this is how I feel about our future.
There you go. Future so bright, you got to wear shades.
I mean, now if the lights go out on me tonight and I have to jump up, I might break my neck. So I'm going to take them back off. But
That's right.
yeah, I really feel like Tom Allen is going to really help this defense. I mean, this team out. We all know that defense wins championships. You've got to score, but you've got to have a good defense. And no offense to, or no disrespect to Wes Goodwin. He had his teams up until last year had really good numbers as far as stats go. But I'm gonna tell you, I think Tom Allen can. And here's the thing: we're not going to get another Brent Venables, okay?
No.
But I do believe Tom Allen's going to, put the defense into a position that they can compete like his did.
That's right.
Once all of his pieces are in place.
Yeah.
Now, I was telling Jeff earlier, I thought it was funny. One of my nephews brought up, the part about, this week when they've talked, when the media's kind of talked to Tom Allen, it seemed like what they've been asking him is, what do you think about the portal? Do you think what does the future look like on the defense? Whereas when Riley stepped up to the mic, it's been with all of the discussion about, what's going to happen in the offseason and, you might be leaving or how do you keep your team focused? And I really think there's, I think that's the difference in where we're at with offensive coaches and defensive coaches. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think that's going to be an interesting off-season, piece to the puzzle.
It is.
We're going to,
Riley, I just hadn't seen any consistency in play calling.
No.
And
Wait a minute now. Hold on. He is consistent with one thing. We'll call it bubble screen on a heartbeat.
The bubble screen and 3rd and 15 run the ball up the middle.
Yep.
He's been
nobody's looking for that. Bring in your big package and don't give it to your running back. Give it to every time.
You're 6'2", 230-pound power running back that fights for the extra yards. I mean, he's a big second effort dude,
Oh yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm all for giving the big dogs a little something to eat every now and then, but it shouldn't be a package that you see every other game. You know?
Yeah. Yes. Look, but you got to give him credit, okay? It only took him how many games to finally change it up against South Carolina? Okay.
Exactly. And look what happened,
Exactly right.
Yeah, you know what? Jumbo package is great when you got those big boys blocking for you, not running the ball.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I could live the rest of my life not seeing Peter Woods try to jump over a lineman with the ball out. I'm sorry. I don't ever want to see that again.
Hey, he's trying to be like Christian Wilkins.
He's not a Christian Wilkins.
No.
That's right. But Riley had some good play calling,
Yeah.
There was some good play calling out there. And I thought the Carolina game was pretty well called game. for him.
That was one of,
from
and see,
football.
that's just it. All right. One of the things that has really bothered me with him is there we go, y'all. The lights are going out. All right. So if you get to a point where the running game is picking up, 8 yards on average. Okay. All right. Why do you go away? And I'm not saying you got to pass some. Okay. You got to be balanced. I get that. But you go completely away from it. It makes no sense.
But this is one thing that we didn't see a lot of. When the running game is working like that, then you throw a pass play in there. What happened to play action?
Yep.
Those play action passes. They're expected to run because run's been so successful, and all of a sudden you over the top with a long pass play. We don't see that.
No, and that's what I think that's been the biggest complaint with him.
Yeah. Jeff, what's your opinion on Riley's play calling?
I think it stretches. He does a real good job. I think his biggest deficiency is developing quarterbacks. I don't know if it's more of an issue of developing quarterbacks. Your offense is going to be predicated by what your quarterback can do. If your quarterback can throw, you can be a throwing offense. If your quarterback can run, then you can mix that in. But if they can't do those things, then you're limited in some way. So I think he may have in the 3 years failed more as a developer of QBs as opposed to maybe play calling. Play calling gets easy when you got a defense that's got to respect everything, and I don't think defense has respected everything with us.
Yeah. And by the way, y'all,
I agree with you 100%. And with what's that?
It is final. Jacksonville just gave Denver their first loss since September 21st.
Good.
On December 21st.
Oh,
34
Go Jags.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting to see what Riley's going to do with Vizina and Denson.
Yeah.
In spring, in off season. I can't really.
Is there another quarterback in the mix?
Heir apparent. Yeah. And hey, what's that other dude that we just got?
Tate Reynolds.
Yeah, Tate. Yeah. And I think he's probably been a little underrated.
Yeah, and I've been hearing that he's gonna have something to say about who the starting quarterback is next year. We'll see.
Hey, and you know what? Iron sharpens iron.
See, and that's the thing about everybody. Everybody's been so high on Denson, and I am too. I don't want anybody to think I'm not. But the thing is, what people don't realize is Denson has got. And see, that's the only thing bad about a quarterback coming in his freshman year. All right, remember, one of the things that hurt Deshaun his first year was he didn't have enough muscle on him. And what do we see? He ends up tearing his ACL. Okay. And I think that's got a lot to do with why we're not seeing these quarterbacks. Kind of like Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence came in. Yeah, he was a little bit undersized, but at the same time, he was a bigger quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A totally different body build.
And you know what, Freddie, you're right, because development doesn't just come from developing as a player on the field, but also with the weight room, your physique, getting, like we've always said, wait until they've had a year or two in the weight room.
Man, look here. Until I started writing with the Clemson Junkies for the time I did, I had no clue how much went into the off-season regimen as far as food they eat. And man, look, if I had somebody on me like they do, man, I'd be fit too, man.
Freddie, you brought that up. You talked about the off-season stuff. We got to change there with Batson retiring and a new strength guy coming in.
Well, but now the good thing about that is, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. I am hoping and praying that we don't see something similar to what we saw with Thomas Austin. Okay, because Thomas Austin tutored underneath the offensive line coach for all those years. And I love Thomas Austin. I love listening to him speak. He's done some interviews, and it's amazing to listen to what he's got to say about some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that fans don't see, as far as what coaches do and stuff like that to poach players and stuff like that. But I'm just hoping that it's Love, right? I think his name's Love.
I think so, yeah.
I'm hoping that we don't see a drop off, from Coach Batson to Love. I'm gonna tell you now, y'all. Coach Batson's videos at the beginning of the fourth quarter make me want to run. My cousins had to pull me back into the stands a couple times. You can't go out there, but you're too old. You get hurt. Hey,
look here. Yeah, you're right. Especially that fourth, right at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, that thing get me fired up. I'm 165 on a good day. I felt like I could run to a big old oak tree.
Look here, you'll never get me to believe that there's a better video right now than they don't put championship rings on clean hands.
That's right.
Or smooth hands on smooth hands.
That's the truth.
It's when you're out here with nobody else but you and your brothers side by side. Cheerleaders aren't cheering, fans aren't screaming. So, hey, like I said, y'all, it's winding down. We got one more game. Not the way we thought it was going to go down, but at the same time, seems like just yesterday that Craig and I were previewing the season. Am I wrong, Craig? Does it not feel like we did that yesterday?
It does. And like you said at the beginning of this podcast, episode 17. So that means that's been 17 weeks that we've been doing this. And hey, it's been fun. And I'm glad to keep doing it. And I'm also going to give a shout out to Jeff, even though he's sitting right here. I'm looking at him right now. Jeff has been somebody who's always come in there and had comments and questions. And you know what? I love three of us on here.
Oh yeah, I do too. The only thing that bothers me is, keep in mind now we lost a viewer, so now we got to find somebody else to chime in and throw us some curveballs, y'all.
Well, you know what? This is something I think that's going to be sustained for us. And first, hey, this is the first year doing it. First few months doing it, and I think it's going to be something that's going to take off. That's why I think it's good to have Jeff on here. We got three different views, even though we have a common cause here that we are pulling for, the Clemson Tigers. But it's good to have three different opinions, three different views, three different insights. I like that.
Oh yeah, I do too. Yep. And we are still going to, I know we've talked about it. And keep in mind, we've been wanting to get this thing on its feet, walking or crawling and walking before we, venture out and ask our guests out and stuff. I have put a word out to Coach Ford, and hopefully in the next week or so, I'll get an answer on, when he feels comfortable, being a guest, if he still feels comfortable doing it. Coach Ford's opinion is a trip. Yep.
Harold Jameson, when we start hitting in, once this football season is over and we start hitting on a little bit more basketball, Big O has already said, just say the word and I'm there. So,
well, speaking, you said that, and I told you the other week that that I would probably try to reach out to Greg Buckner. And funny part from that game today, they come down the lane on a fast break, and it's dished to Ace, and he goes up and slams it, y'all. And I promise you, as soon as I saw it happen, all I could think about was that jam against North Carolina when he did that on the rim. It was awesome. But y'all,
maybe if you let Greg know that Big O is going to be on, because Big O said I will be there, and that's my buddy, and I know he will. So wouldn't it be cool to get both of them on at the same time?
Oh, it would. It would. Nice. I'm also going to reach out to Sharon Wright, who I got to know really, really good whenever they did when Wayne Buckingham did the the tournament at
Yeah.
Clemson. They do every year. I went up and played in that tournament. It was I'd always wanted to play on the Walker course and got to enjoy that. And I don't know if I've ever told either one of y'all, but I'll tell you a funny story from that. We get up there, and I didn't pay extra money for a special guest to play golf with me. Okay. It was like $200 extra or something like 100, $200 extra dollars. So my nephew and I, Jacob, we rode up, got there, and they forgot that we were in the tournament. Okay. So they put us with Coley. They Coach Ford nicknamed him Coleslaw. This cat is y'all. I can't tell y'all how funny this guy is. Okay. But he let us know during the whole thing or during the thing that Coach Ford would give them nicknames because he couldn't remember their name. Okay. So he nicknamed him Coleslaw.
Right.
He's from down next to Orangeburg, down that way. Well, anyway, it's the three of us. So we don't have a fourth. We go out and we're getting ready, and this golf cart coming down the path. I'm like, oh crap! They done told us what we're doing something wrong or something like that. I figure we've already messed up. We ain't even played a hole yet. But anyway, the cart rolls up. Hear this guy say, "Y'all mind if we play with y'all?" We're like, "No." Terrell McIntyre and Terrence Oglesby. Okay.
Oh wow.
And I have had numerous conversations with Terrence Oglesby. I could probably call him up and see if he would want to come on. I don't know if he stays so busy with college basketball now but y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. Anytime I go to Clemson, I feel like I'm in heaven. Okay. As a Tiger fan, but I can promise you that day was better than any football, basketball, baseball game, soccer match I've ever been to up there. Just the three of those guys playing with me and my nephew. And, that was one of the funnest days I've had up there.
Well, I bet that was. Oglesby, he's good commentating now. He does.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And another enjoyment or special part of that game or that thing was Eldon Campbell was actually there to support it and to play in the tournament and stuff like that.
Wow.
And I'll never forget me sitting there because they fed us lunch afterwards. And we were sitting there. It was Danny Ford sitting beside me, Eldon Campbell sitting across from me, Horace Grant is down from me, and Eldon Campbell's telling all these hilarious stories about his time as a Laker, man. And here's the thing, he had no clue who I was, and he's telling these stories, he's talking to everybody else up there, and I'm sitting there going, all right,
you that on the wall.
If I've died, go ahead and just tell me. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you soaking it in, man.
I was, man. I was. And as most people know by now, Eldon Campbell, suffered a medical issue and drowned a couple of weeks ago in I think it was Florida. Was it Florida or California? I think it was California.
Yeah, California.
I think so.
But they are doing, and if anybody's interested, and I can get them the information, they're doing a memorial service for him at Clemson in a couple of weeks. I think it is. I think it's gonna be in January. But and yeah, well, and a lot of people don't realize this, but he and Horace Grant actually narrate the video at Little John. They started with it last year, and they narrate that beginning video talking about the history and all that kind of stuff for Clemson basketball. So
that's all.
But and for those that don't know, we're in a sad part of it right now. But George Bennett, I met Mr. George years ago at Ipte Supper, and for those that don't know, he is the one that got the cannon started in Death Valley. He's also the one that came up with the $2 bill with the Clemson Paul on it years ago, for traveling to show the Tigers during time. Yes, sir. He truly was. And sadly enough, I think it was Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday. They were getting ready to go to his funeral.
The day of the funeral.
Yep, went to pick his mom, or Jeff and the sister went to pick their mom up. Found out that she had passed away in the night in her sleep, peacefully. And that, and somebody posted it, and I think they posted it so good that it was a sad story, but it was also a beautiful story
A love
because
story.
yeah,
That is true.
it was a love story, to the end. And so, but keep that family in your prayers, if you will, and also
Sure.
keep Eldon's family in your prayers because those are some huge losses there. So
They are Clemson. And
Big Clemson.
as much as we our rivals, Steve Tannehill also
yeah,
passed away.
yeah,
And even though I was at that game when he signed his name in Tiger Paw. He'll go down in Gamecock lore for that. But hey, a loss of life, and the reason I wanted to bring him up also is he's the reason why Gaines Adams came to Clemson.
sure was.
Yep.
South Carolina would not look at him because of 8-man football.
Yep,
Didn't
that's
think
right.
he can make it. So
yep, and Gaines Adams, of course, was one of the greats at
that's
Clemson,
right.
and
Yep.
he's passed away also. But yeah, Tannehill was 100% responsible for Gaines Adams coming to Clemson.
I will never forget being I was at a wedding. I was in a wedding. It seems like everybody in my family decides to do weddings on football game days. I don't know what the deal is with that. But anyway, I was at a wedding and it was listening to the game against Wake Forest when we were down, and he blocked the field goal and brought that. And I will never forget that because I got in trouble that day because when it happened, I was listening to it in a earpiece, and I kind of yelled a little bit during the wedding, and I think they thought I was trying to say that they shouldn't get married or something. I don't know.
Oh, Freddie.
But hey, I go back to that Verizon commercial where I think it's the Verizon commercial where they start yelling at things. Look, if you planned it that way, it's not my fault that you made me go to it. Hey,
that's right. I love it.
I do too. I mean, look at y'all. I can go on and on with the stories that I've got, and I know y'all have got them too. But
oh yeah,
y'all, we are well over time.
You said it's about George Bennett. You talk about George Bennett, Hannah? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. Who? Wait a minute now.
Oh,
did I miss
George
something?
Bennett with the cannon? Quick story about the cannon. When I was in 8th grade, 81 national championship season, when we were playing Wake Forest. Now, my parents always sat up in the stands, but I was, young dude, I'm on the hill. But before the games were over with, I'd always slip down the hill, come around the corner of the end zone and go back behind the Clemson players, jump the wall before the game was over with. Back then you could do that, and get towels and wristbands and all that stuff. But Wake Forest game, last touchdown that was scored, it was in the end zone where the hill is. I stopped at the corner there, and the cheerleader said, "Who wants to fire the cannon?" I jumped the fence and got over there. He said, "Okay." When they crossed the goal line, pull the string. I said, "I know exactly what to do." Boom. I got to fire the cannon.
And you're not deaf.
Huh?
And you're not deaf.
That's right. I'm not deaf. and I've gone back and tried to find footage of that just to see if you can see me in the corner of that end zone, because I was on the Clemson sideline, in the end zone on that side when they crossed. And I'm like, man, I'd love to be able to see me firing the cannon. So yeah, that was one of my great Clemson experiences.
Craig, you might have been next up to run the football after that. I think they emptied the bench that day.
Hey, I know.
82 points.
I was actually thinking that because they were like, I remember the announcer saying, number 44, let me see what his name is.
I remember.
Well, look here, y'all. That's the fun part about this is that we each have our own little stories, and we're gonna have some time here coming up soon where I don't plan on us having a hiatus. So y'all remember their stories because we're gonna have to bring some of these things out.
That's right.
But as y'all know, it's 7:51, 7:52 by my time, so we're well over time. Another great episode. You know,
Wait, we
we're
got to
glad
do
to
our
have
prediction.
Jeff in.
Glad to be here, guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some more of the same. Now, all right, the Pinstripe Bowl. I'll let y'all go. Whoever wants to go first, give me what you think's gonna happen in the Pinstripe Bowl point wise.
Hey, we're gonna throw Jeff on in the fire to start it
There we
off.
go.
Hey, I think we're gonna win 31-24.
Okay. All right, Craig.
Traditionally, because we were losing games, I would pick against Clemson just so we would win. That reverse mojo, but I'm picking a Clemson win, and I'm along the same lines as Jeff here. I'm 31-21.
Well, I am honestly, I'm leaning towards 31-10. I know that's a low score. I know it's a low score, but I think you're going to have a lot of players on defense that even though we've lost 6, we still have a point that they want to make, and I believe you got a bunch of players that want to prove to Coach Allen we can carry the load. And also I do believe that Penn State is going to have less offensive power than they would have had. So I'm going 31-10.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So
well, I hope you're right, Fred.
Hey, I'll take that all day long.
I hope all 3 of us are right. I don't care what you know what I'm saying. The score doesn't really matter to me as long as it's a W. We'll take that dub no matter what. That's right.
You go.
As we always tell you, go to our YouTube page, like it, subscribe to it, share the video. We don't mind it one bit. We're not charging anybody for giving that video away free. I'm sharing it to right around 100 different groups between, when we get off of here, when it uploads and I can share it. So we don't mind you sharing it one bit. If you friend us on Facebook, we're checking that, and we have not declined anyone yet. I think I had to go back and defriend one person, and it was just simply because as soon as they friended us, they started posting all kinds of sales things, and I'll be honest with y'all, it wasn't anything that any of us would have bought or any of our fans would have bought. So, or I don't think so anyway.
Yeah.
Now,
right.
But anyway, we're enjoying it. We're gonna keep going, and as we always tell you at the end of the show, until next time, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Y'all have a good evening.
Take care, guys.